Hello guys, this is What About Nintendo, and today I'm here to talk about more Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel theories. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a theory that is kind of a little shorter, kind of a little less in-depth, but it's something I wanted to pose a question of sorts, and that is, are all the Divine Beasts in Breath of the Wild sequel broken? Let's get right on into it. So this may seem to be a bit of a random question. You're like, why would you even ask if all of the Divine Beasts are broken? Why is that even a question that you are asking? Well, let me tell you, there's actually a good reason why I'm asking this question. So, at the end of Breath of the Wild, after you've defeated, or so we thought, defeated, Calamity Ganon. Afterwards, you see a short cut scene of obviously Link and Zelda talking, then it pans over the castle. You see all the champions, you see the former king of Hyrule, and they're kind of, sitting there, they're standing there, and all of a sudden, they disappear. They just, kind of have a cool effect, and then they kind of explode, and then they disappear. They're gone. And you don't really think too much of it. You're like, oh, they moved on, they're in a better place now, they can finally rest, and that's great, obviously. But then, immediately after, there's another scene of Link and Zelda traveling around together, and Zelda specifically mentions that they are going to Zora's domain because the Divine Beast Vah Ruta is not working. For some reason, nobody really knows, but some reason that Divine Beast is not functioning at all. It just won't do what they want. It's not working. It seems to be broken. And so I got to thinking, why put this scene in the end of Breath of the Wild? Obviously now, I think there's a lot of hints and secrets towards the sequel at the end of the game in that cutscene. I think there's a reason for a lot of what they're saying. I think a lot of it points to the sequel. And so, if I do think this has something to do with the sequel, what exactly does it have to do? Obviously, in the sequel, Vah Ruta will probably be broken. But what if there's more to it than that? What if, in the sequel, you actually find out that none of the Divine Beasts are working? What if all of the Divine Beasts are broken? We did see every single one of the champions disappear, along with the King of Hyrule and at the end of Breath of the Wild. So what if their disappearance causes the Divine Beast to stop functioning? Obviously, they were the only ones who could really control the Divine Beasts back 100 years ago, and even back when you defeat Calamity Ganon, they're the only ones who can control them. They're the only ones who can do anything with them. So what if their disappearance actually causes them to malfunction, to stop working? What if nobody else can actually control these? I think this could have big implications for the sequel of Breath of the Wild. I'm not exactly sure what could happen, but obviously this is going to be some sort of major thing in the story. Otherwise, I don't think they would have mentioned it at the end of Breath of the Wild. Maybe it's just some flavor text at the end of Breath of the Wild, but I don't think so. I think now that we know that there's going to be a sequel, I think that we can take these as sort of hints as to what might happen in the Breath of the Wild sequel. So I'm wondering if a major part of the Breath of the Wild sequel is to figure out what's up with the Divine Beasts. Perhaps there is a way to fix them. Perhaps a big part of Breath of the Wild will be fixing them. Or perhaps a big part of the Breath of the Wild will actually be running around trying to find a new champion. Maybe you have some new candidates that you train up and become new champions of the Divine Beast. Or perhaps you never get the Divine Beast working and you need to find some kind of other ancient technology to help in the fight against Ganon. Either way, I do think there is some importance to this, which is why I wanted to pose the question, are all the Divine Beasts broken in the sequel to Breath of the Wild? And if so, exactly what does this imply for Breath of the Wild? With that question posed, I'd like to hear all you guys' answers down in the comments. So let me know down in the comments below, do you think that all the Divine Beasts are broken in Breath of the Wild sequel? And if so, what implications do you think this might have on the story? Thank you guys all for watching. That will be all for this video. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and ring that bell icon for notifications of all my videos, because there's going to be tons more Breath of the Wild theories and predictions coming from this channel, along with, of course, a bunch of other Nintendo content as well. Also, make sure to share this video with everyone you know who is hyped for the Breath of the Wild sequel and is interested in these kind of theory videos. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see all you guys later on What About Nintendo. Bye.